Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me on today's webinar. Here we are, 17th of February. It's amazing. President's Day weekend. Exciting. We're going to go see Black Panther today. It's going to be fun. Excited for that. So anyway, hey, good stuff happening. We've got great announcements that came out this last week. Every week it seems like we got some really new and cool stuff going on. That's awesome. This company is actually starting to really come together, starting to do things. It's fun from the marketing side to just everything they're delivering. It's awesome. It's happening, right? It's happening. So I'm more excited than I've ever been to be part of NUI and everything that's going on with NUI. I really do think that as we polish this thing, we get it all done. And sure, any company ever is going to go through their different stuff, right? I remember years ago working with Zango, if you guys remember that company, and one of the first problems they started having was they started shipping the bottles of juice out, and they would come and they were broken, right? So they had thousands of bottles of juice being shipped out to people that paid, it was not cheap, right? Hundreds of dollars to get this stuff. And then, to have it come and the bottles were broken, it was all leaking. So they had to go through and figure out how to solve that and everything. So, any company, any big company, they will tell you the horror stories of their beginnings, right? How they got started, what they had to go through, the pushback, the doubt, the naysayers, all that, right? It's just absolutely normal for a company to go through that kind of stuff. And every single one, every company I've ever been in the network marketing space has gone through that, right? They've gone through their first year or two or however long, to get through all the issues and problems and get it all figured out, right? Until they finally become a big success. And it's like that saying says, it took us years to be an overnight success. Well, here we are. We're starting to get there. It's starting to get all dialed in. It's not 100% yet. We're still going to see a bunch of things in the next few weeks and months. We're going to still see a bunch of things in the next few years, right? It's going to be an ongoing process. But right now, I feel like we're at a good place, solid place. Got some, on some solid ground. Got some feet under us. It's great where we're at right now. So what did we announce last week? Well, we've already talked about they took off the location thing for enrollment, right? So now when you go to enroll somebody, they're not going to be battling. A lot of people were struggling if they're using their phone, right? The location thing was not work for some reason, and so they couldn't enroll. Now that doesn't happen, right? Now you go to it and you've got just has the drop down to the countries and all that, so you can just go. They're saying brand new website, right? Beautiful new website. They went through and they revamped the whole thing, made it look awesome. It's amazing. Back office now has all kinds of new tools. You can go in and see who's purchased mining agreements and all that. You can see right away who's active, who's not. It's just everything's coming together little by little. It's happening, and it's so fun to be part of all this. And then, of course, the big news came out Thursday night, right? Was the announcement on with Mintage and the mining agreements that they've introduced that new 3-year option, and the new coins that they're mining with it and everything. So today's training is going to be on that. We're going to talk a little bit about the comp plan and how the comp plan affects with both on the Symmetry side and the Mintage side, and then we're going to go into the details on these new agreements, right, with Mintage and how they work. And I know there was a lot of confusion, and I've got some clarity on that, so we're going to talk about that. So, but yeah, and then let's just touch on what's coming. So this next week, we should hear some even further information regarding our shopping portal, the retail rewards. That got announced a couple weeks back, and they've kind of hinted at it a little bit at the Kala website. It talks about getting earning Kala, right? Earning cryptocurrency for doing your shopping. So when you do shopping every day, if you shop on Amazon, and the thing I've been, I shop on Amazon a lot, and then of course, Walmart and stuff. So as people go shopping, they're going to be able to earn the Kala, right? Cryptocurrency. So it's going to be exciting to see all these new things that are going to be announcing in the next week or so. We've got some cool stuff coming, right? Some improvements to core. You guys probably know who Kinsey Lindgren is. She's in charge of on the marketing side, and she's in charge of getting core put together, and it's going to be awesome. I'm hearing that she went through and kind of revamped it and did some things to it, and we should be hearing more about the Kinsey version of core coming out here pretty soon in the next couple weeks or so. So it's a lot of fun things coming. We're excited because it's coming together, and we're actually seeing some real results, right? We got people that are actually seeing real commissions paid out. They're seeing great results on their mining. They're seeing people are excited. It's really fun. It's a good time to be part of what is NUI. For those that came in a year ago or more, we're being what's the word? It's a recompense, right? It's a reward. There's a reward for having gotten in early and having been patient with things. But we know that there's the Kala project thank you and all that stuff. So take advantage of it, because we only have 11 more days until the end of the month, and getting people active so they can get that project thank you reward. You don't want to miss out on that. We know that after that in March, then they're actually going to start doing a cleanup of the matrix, and it'll all be for the good, right? Everything's for the good. Different people have different kinds of motivations, and so we need to get in there and do that. So great stuff going on. I see Irene's here, and she's from Canada, and she just joined a week ago. Welcome, Irene. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you on board with us. That's awesome. Welcome. So let's start with, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to talk a little bit about the comp plan, how that works, and specifically, I want to talk about the dynamic compression, right? Because that's the one thing that's just kind of confuses people the most, I think. And so we're going to talk about that and try and get some clarity on how that works. Okay, so let me share my screen here. We've got I think it's this one. Yep. Nope, that's not the right one. Let me go back and try that again. Get the right one. Always important. There we go. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about building a team with NUI, how that works, how the comp plan works, and how dynamic compression in the comp plan works. Because there's a lot of confusion with the dynamic compression. People are always asking me. I guess they just kind of don't understand it, and it's it is complicated a little bit, but it's important. It's important to understand how it works, because it could be the difference between earning hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. Because if you don't unlock the tiers, right, then you're actually leaving money on the table. So what does that mean? Well, so as it says here, welcome to NUI, building a team. So of course, the first part of this is enrolling, right? So if you're watching this, you're not part of NUI yet, it's important to understand that a member of NUI can join for $125. They purchase the product suite for $125, and that gives them access to the core stuff, which is doing activities and earning points. It gives you access to Reach, which is the redemption center. It lets you build a team with other members. It lets you earn commissions on what your team does, so on and so forth, right? And of course, part of that is the mining. So when we're talking about the mining agreements with hash power agreements and stuff, that's all part of core, right? It's best to think of mining as a core product, okay? Or it shows up as a core offering. So first thing we do is we build a team. Okay, so we call that the PEN. It's the Personal Enrollment Network. And as we enroll people, they're direct to us. Okay, we could call them frontline or whatever you want to call them. But that's how it works. So you personally enroll them, and then those people are placed into a structure. We call that the team building structure. Right. So as you enroll people, or as people get enrolled by your leader, your enroller, they will fall into this structure, right? It's a 3x10 structure. So the first level only has 3 people on it. The second level has 9 people on it. Third level has 27 people, all the way down 59,000 people, right? So the total is over 88,000 people, okay? And it just fills in left to right, right to left, by teams, okay, until it's all the way full. All right, and so there's no placing. You can't say, "Oh, I want to place this guy under this guy." That doesn't work, right? That's not a possibility. And so what you do is you just keep building that, and then as you do that, so here's the important thing, okay, is that as you continue to earn the points and do the different things with mining and stuff, that is going to get paid into that team building structure. Okay, so you either and then you have to be active and you have to be qualified. There's 2 important terms that you have to understand. One is being active, one is being qualified. Okay, and so as you become active personally, you do 1,000 points, or you get involved with mining. So you do a mining agreement, and then the other thing is then you have to get the people that you personally enrolled active, or get them on a mining agreement as well, so that you can then unlock those tiers, right? So what does that mean? What is unlocking tiers? Well, so let's just give an example, okay? So core is, let's say it's paying out $1, right, in commissions that are earned by now 10 people are paid up 10 levels. So that $1 is divided by 10, so it's now 10 cents per level. Okay, and this is how it looks, right? So if you're looking at your structure here, here's you, and if you go down, so there's your 3 level, there's your 9 level, right? It goes all the way down, but you know what? We're actually going down deeper than just 9 levels here. We're actually going down. So clear down here, this guy. Okay, so this guy, let's say he just completed a core offer, and the commission attached to that was $1. Right? So what is going to happen? Well, that person that just did that offer for $1 going to earn 100 points, right? Because we know that every point is a penny. Okay, so $1 is creating basically 100 points. So that person receives 100 points. Okay, now the next thing that happens is the person right above him in the structure is it's going to ask a question. Right, actually 2 questions. The first question is it's going to ask, hey, is that member active? Right, and what is active? Remember, it's either doing 1,000 points in core in a month, or is that person, or do they have a minimum of $25 in mining? Okay, so those are the 2 questions it asks. So if the answer is yes, then it says, okay, cool. What's the second question? Are they at least tier 1 qualified? What is tier 1 qualified? Well, tier 1 qualified means that they have enrolled at least one person directly, okay, and that person is active. Okay, so and now of course they are active during the first month of enrollment. That's just automatic. Just for having signed up, then they're active during their first month. But during their second month, okay, and moving forward, they need to either do 1,000 points, or they would need to get a mining agreement of at least $25. Okay, so if they have one person who is active, so that would mean that they're tier 1 qualified, then okay, cool, they get paid. They get 10 cents, right? Then it goes up to this next person right above. It says, hey, is that person active? Okay, yes, they're on a mining agreement, or they've got 1,000 points. Great. So now have they opened up their second level? Are they tier 2 qualified? Have they enrolled 2 people, and are both of those people active? Yes. Okay, cool. Then we're going to give 10 cents to them. Okay. Then it goes up, same thing. This person, are they active? Yes. Are they level or tier 3 qualified? They have 3 direct people that are active. Yep. Perfect. Okay. But then here's the example of somebody that's not, right? So let's say this guy, he is active. He's doing some mining or whatever. He's got 1,000 points, but does he have 4 direct people, and are they active? No, right? So he does not receive the 10 cent commission. He is skipped. Okay, and so then we ask the next question. This guy, right? The guy right above him. He, for whatever reason, he said, this isn't for me, or he just got lazy. So is he active? No, he is not doing mining. He is not, getting 1,000 points in core. So skip him, right? Boom. Okay. Then it goes to the next guy, and this guy, yes, he is active, and yes, he has 4 people that are active. Great. He gets paid. Okay. And it just keeps doing that all the way up to you, right? So let's say this is you up here. Are you active? Of course you are. And do you have your 8 people, right? Are you tier 8 qualified? Of course you are, right? You went out and you worked with your team and you got your 8 people all active, and so good, you get 10 cents. Okay, so that's how it works with the payout on a commission if it was a core activity. Now if it's mining, it's the same exact thing, right? Same exact scenario. Let's say that this guy goes and he gets $100 mining agreement. Okay. Well, so we know that $100 mining agreement is going to pay out 20% into the matrix, right? So basically it's 20, right? So $20 worth of mining, which is 20 units. So what's going to happen? It's going to go to the guy right above him, and it's going to say, hey, is this guy active? Yep. Okay. And is he enrolled at least one person? Yep. Cool. He gets, so there's 20 units, right, divided by 10. So he's going to get 10 units. He's going to get 10 mining units that added to his total, right? Because he's got, if he's purchased in, maybe he came in with just 25. Okay. So it's $25. So he's got 25 mining units working for him. So he's going to now have 27, right? Because he just got an extra 2 from this guy having purchased $100, okay, worth of mining. So then it goes to this next person and it says, hey, are you active? Yep. Hey, do you have at least 2 people who are qualified, or two people who are active? Yep. Okay, great. Let's give you an additional 2 units of mining, right? And that's how it works all the way up. Same thing. This guy, is he active? Yep. But does he have 4 people that that he personally enrolled? Nope. Oh, so he does not get that extra, those 2 mining units for him. It's going to skip up. It's going to go to the next person. He's not qualified either. Okay, so this guy's going to get it, right? So he's going to get those extra 2 mining units all the way up, and then to you. And of course, since it skipped 2, it's going to go up 2 more levels, right, above you. 2 more people are going to get those extra 2 mining units. Okay, so super important. One other little tidbit that we get asked a lot is regarding, okay, so we know that a direct, right? So if my personally enrolled person purchases some mining, well, I'm going to get 10% of that, right? So let's assume, let's do a little experiment here, okay? So let's say that this guy right here, okay, he went and he's my direct, right? So I enrolled him. Okay, cool. And so he goes and he buys a mining agreement, and so I get 10%, right? So if it was $100, I'm going to get 10, right? I'm going to get $10 worth of mining. I'm going to get an extra 10 units. Well, the other question is, hey, this guy, he's on my level 1. And that's going to produce the 20%, right, divided. And so that would produce another 2 units, mining units. And so ask the question, okay, well, he's on my first level and I've enrolled 1 person. So do I get that extra 2 as well? Well, I do. Yes. So in this case, this guy, having bought $100 in mining, that's actually going to give me 12. Right? 12 units, because I'm going to get the 10% for him being my direct. I'm also going to get the 2% because he's on my tier 1, and I have unlocked tier 1 by enrolling him. But let's say now that he's the only guy I've enrolled, and my leader starts to fill in over here, but this guy, he enrolls, he's starting to enroll, right? And so now this all fills in, okay? This all fills in with people, and I think, oh, wow, I better, I'm going to go enroll another guy, right? So you enroll somebody else, and it's this one, okay? This person right here. Well, this person, he's now in your level 3, right? But you have only enrolled 2, so you only unlocked 2 levels. So what's going to happen? Well, this guy, he goes and he buys $100 in mining. Perfect. So you're going to get 10% of that because he's your direct, okay? Even though he's down here on level 3, you enrolled him, so you get 10%, so you get another 10. But, uh-oh, he's on level 3, and you've only enrolled 2. So you do not get the 2 units from him because you have not opened up tier 3, right? To earn that extra 2 from him, you would have need to have enrolled 3 people, and then that would open up tier 3, and then you would get that that extra 2%. Okay, so that's the example. We just have to be really careful to understand where they're at in our matrix and how many levels we've opened up. Okay, so yes, you can get the 10 and the 2 as long as you've met both requirements. Number 1, that they're direct to you, perfect, and number 2, that they're on a level that you've opened up. Okay, so that's how that works. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more clear on how the mining works. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the new hash power agreements that just came out. All right, so like it says here, because Mintage Mining is growing, it has developed a few new iterations for its users to have a better mining experience. Okay? So one of the newest additions is a 3-year mining hash power service agreement. And so now miners can choose between a 1-year and a 3-year agreement, right? Now, while both of these function similarly, each one has its own benefits, okay? So for example, 1 year has a benefit that it's a $25 minimum buy-in cost. So it's cheap, okay? You can get in really cheap, all right? And you can repurchase anytime with just $10, okay? So, or 10 units, okay? So with each unit being $1, so if you bought $10,000 dollars in units, you would get 10,000 units, right? It's very simple. So the advantage of the 1 year is that you can get in, it's rather inexpensive, right? $25, and it keeps it simple at $1 per unit. You don't have to do a lot of math. Okay. Now the new one, these 3-year hash power service agreements, okay, they last for 156 weeks or 3 years, right? And you can actually, you can purchase either one at any time, right? So you can choose between 1 year or 3-year agreements anytime during the week, okay, based on the batch, right? So they're calling it batches now. We used to call them buckets, but now they're called batches. Okay, so you have a certain amount available. Maybe it's $500,000 worth or whatever, and you can actually you're purchasing out of that $500,000. It doesn't matter. It's just a dollar amount, a total dollar amount, but you can actually choose, and so as people purchase, it could be the majority of people buying into the 3-year stuff, or it could be majority of people buying the 1-year stuff. It doesn't matter, right? So it's a total dollar amount, but here's the difference. With the 3 years, each unit costs $3. Okay, so what are the advantages? Well, the advantages are it does give up to 10% more hash power and payout than the 1-year agreement. Okay, so it is doing a little bit more. Now, let's clarify on that. 10%, we're not talking about, let's just say that on a certain week, the payout ended up being at 5%. Okay, so on a 3-year agreement, that does not mean the 3-year agreement pays 15%. No, okay, that's not what that means. 10% higher means that it's 10% of the 5%. In other words, you take 5%, you take 10% of that, and that's 0.5. So you would have 5.5%. Okay, hopefully that's clear. So up to 10% more hash power. So let's say if it was 4%, then maybe 4.4% on a 3-year agreement. If it ended up being as high as 6% or something, it would be 6.6%, right? So that's just that's what it means. It's not an additional 10%. It's 10% of what the 1 year doing added on. So, if it was 3%, then it would be 3.3%, okay, on the 3-year stuff, okay? And then, like I said, it is, $3 per unit. So the dollars per unit ratio, right, means that if you put in $10,000, well, you would be getting 3,333 units, okay? So you're getting less units. Now, but don't be confused on that, because here's what, a lot of people I've been talking to since they announced this are assuming that you're still getting paid the percentage on the amount of units you have, right? So I'm going to bring up my little whiteboard here, okay? And so let's say you put in, or you bought $1,000 worth of units. Okay, you had $1,000 and you said, okay, on the 1 year stuff, I'm getting 1,000 units, and let's say it was at 4%. Okay, so we have 4% here. What is that going to do? Well, on the traditional 1 year stuff, right, 4%, then that's basically paying out $40, right? So, okay, well, that's kind of cool. If I had 1,000 units, I'd get paid $40 in a week, right? Hey, every Wednesday. All right, cool, getting $40. Okay, well, what people are confusing, they're thinking, oh, well, if I buy 3-year units, okay, then I only have 333 of them. So that means, I'm only getting 4% of 333, and that is not true. Okay, you're still getting 4%, and actually, in this case, because it's a 3-year, right? We talked about. So you're actually over here getting approximately 4.4%. Okay, so that's really cool. And then, so what does that mean? Well, you're actually getting 4.4% of the dollar value, not of the units, of the dollar value. So you're actually getting paid on the 3-year units, you're actually going to get paid 44. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, so you can see that the huge advantage, there's a ton of advantages to these new 3-year units. Number one, your percentage can be a little bit higher, okay? And number two, because your percentage, you're still getting paid on the same dollar value, okay? 333 3-year units is still worth $1,000, okay? So 4.4% of the $1,000, 44. Okay, so you're actually getting a little bit higher payout, and it's lasting longer. And then, of course, the other benefit to that is that it actually keeps you active in NUI for 3 years, right? So instead of, the 1 year expires after a year, and so then you'd have to make sure you had enough in there to keep active. Well, with the 3-year stuff, you're actually active in NUI for 3 years, right? So isn't that cool? So lots of benefits, right? Lots of benefits to doing the 3-year stuff. Now, the only downside is that it is, $75 minimum to start, right? So, so if you're dealing with somebody that doesn't feel like they have enough money to put in, $75 or whatever, that's okay. Get them started with just 25. And then the following, time they want to do it, then they can start getting into the 3 years with just, so let's go into here. I'm going to go into contracts here so you can see. So this is, I got to log in again. Timed out. Okay, so if we go in here into contracts, it talks about the minimum, right? So here we have 1 year contracts, and you have to purchase 10 units, so it's $10, okay? Over here, the minimum 3-year contract purchase is 4 units, so it's $12, okay? So once you've actually done this, once you actually, come in for 25, right? The following week, now this is what we call a repurchase, okay? So once you've done it, now you can start getting 3-year contracts for as little as $12, right? 4 units times $3 is 12, okay? So that's how that works. So you can pick either or. And basically it takes out of, so we have the 500,000 available in this batch, right? 12,000 have been sold so far. And as we go through this 500,000, okay, it doesn't matter. It could be all in 1 year, it could be all in 3 year, or it's just any combination, but it's the total dollar amount that's getting done. The other thing that's really cool now with our Mintage Mining stuff is that you can see here, each Mintage Mining batch operates on a first come, first served basis, okay? So once all the hash power units in this batch have been purchased, the batch closes and a new batch will be released. And then all those purchased hash power units become active on the Thursday after that batch closes, okay? So there could be, and we're seeing this with, you know, the new financing and stuff that came out, that this 500,000 should be used up really fast, right? Because people are getting approved for 25,000 or 50,000 or whatever on the financing, and so yeah, this will go really quick. And then of course it's just on the following Thursday after it closes, that's when that goes active, and away we go. The other thing that's really cool that I like is that we now have all these new coins that we're, you know, able to mine. Right before, I think there were like 4 or 5 of them, and they were just the typical ones, you know, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and a couple others like that. Well, now they're starting to play with some of these other altcoins that, you know, that are starting to really take off, like Electronium, right? Electronium is really cool. Dash Coin, right? Zcash. I mean, most of these are just, you know, Monero. They're really a lot easier to mine, and so you get a lot more bang for your buck out of them and all that. So yeah, they've started you know, diving into some of these other fun altcoins. So it's really cool, right? Like it says here, now we have both 1-year and 3-year agreements. Now it's being sold on a batch design instead of a weekly bucket. Now it's just a batch, right? Which allows them to actually start making larger hardware purchases and getting greater discounts so that we can increase our total hash power and results, right? You know, the contracts activate on the Thursday following the close of the batch. Payouts occur on every Wednesday, just as usual. And then, of course, newly released hardware has allowed us to add many new algorithms, enhancing our diversity, right? So that's what they're talking about here, was adding more coins, being more diverse, because they got some really cool new stuff, right? And so it's really fun what's going on with Mintage. I'm super excited about everything that's happening. And I'll just, you know, want to end sharing my little story here and give you an example, right, of my results. So now, as I share this, you know, I just want to be very clear, you know, that when we're talking about payouts and stuff, that this is my own personal stuff. Okay, this is my own example. These are my own results, and you know, I could maybe say results aren't typical. No, well, maybe they are typical. I don't know, right? I mean, I know other people on the team that are doing stuff like this too, but what I'm showing you here is not any kind of guarantee. It's not any kind of you know, promise that, you know, you're going to have, because it does depend on, you know, what you've done and how your team is built and all of that. But I'm just showing you a possible scenario. This is my own personal scenario. This is what happened for me because of, you know, what I was able to do with my team and, you know, supporting my team and building it in NUI and all of that. Okay, so when we started doing this back in November last year, I came in for $30, right? I just did, okay, just put in $30. Let's try this thing out and see what's going to happen, right? And so you can see here now the website, really cool because it now shows real time, right? Valued at $1.13 today, right? So it come down here, you see based on current Bitcoin exchange rate of approximately $10,800, right? That's what Bitcoin's at right now. It's been going up. You know, a couple weeks ago it was clear down at 7,000, and it was struggling to get up to 9,000. Well, here we are. It's coming back up. It's about 11,000. So good news on the Bitcoin side. You know, the Litecoin, other coins are starting to really go up. You know, it happens every beginning of the year, January, beginning part of February, where the markets kind of adjust and correct and whatnot, right? That's just normal. So we're back, you know, on the rise, right? It's what we call a bull run. And, you know, things are starting to head in a positive direction, really fun. So on my 30 units I purchased, I got paid 0.000147 Bitcoins, right? Which is valued at basically $1 today, okay? So, all right, that's fine. Then, you know, the next week I was still at, you know, 30 units, so I got paid another $1.18. right? And I took that money and I went and I bought another unit. So I had 31 whole units working for me, okay? And I thought, okay, that's cool, right? And so then I got paid out $1.28. Oh, okay. Well, then I thought, well, okay, I'm going to put in a little bit more money, right? Put in another 20 bucks, okay? So now I had 53. Okay, so 53 units working for me. So my payout, okay, yeah, $2.29. Okay, think, yeah, that's not a ton, but it's better than what the bank pays, right? So it's pretty good. And then I took that money and I bought another 3 units, right? So I had 56, and then I got paid out $2.34 on that, and then bought another 3 units, got 59, and got another $2 there, bought some more units. Well, guess what happened? So this is on December 12th, right? So a little over a month gone by, and I'm still at 59 units. Well, then all of a sudden, on the 20th of December, right, which was my anniversary, 20-year anniversary, I woke up to find out that because of everything that had been going on my team, well, they just put in over $2,600 worth of mining units, right? Wow, $2,600 from all the mining that had taken place for my team. So that was the 10% of my direct people and the 2%, right, down the 10 levels of the matrix. Okay, yeah, that's what so all of a sudden that time I got $85, right? So that payout from that week was $85 because of the commissions I had earned from my team purchasing mining. Okay, and so then the next week it went up $100 there. Okay, not bad, right? So my payout a little bit less, right? $74 because the way Bitcoin was kind of going weird at that point. But then you can see the following week, holy cow, it went up over $1,000. $1,000 in bonus in 1 week, right? Wow, pretty good. So then my payout was $102 for that week. And then the next week, it looks like it went up about 500 something, right? So then the next week, it went up over 1,000. Look at that. That's almost 1,200 right there, right? Pretty good. And so these are weekly, right? These are weekly bonus commission payouts, okay? And then the next week, looks like that's about 800, right? And then this one looks like another 800, okay? As you can see, it just keeps going up, right? And then finally on the 13th, I had over 8,500 bonus units. And then my payout, $143 based on what Bitcoin is worth today, okay? So, wow. It's so amazingly awesome how this has worked in just a couple of months, right? 2 months. 2 months, I've been able to get my my total units up above. I think currently it's over 9,000. Because of the commissions, because of the overrides that come in from my team, right? And this doesn't even, and we're not even showing the commission that I earned from the other side, from the symmetry side, right? From core activities and all of that. I was able to achieve the rank of director for the month of December, and that had a nice little bonus on there. So, yeah, this works, guys. This works, and it's just a matter of working with your team, getting your 10 people enrolled, getting those 10 people active, teaching them all the benefits of what we're doing with mining and how exciting that is. And you can see here, these little overrides, and it's not like they were huge, right? 62 cents, 0.62 unit, a 0.58 unit. There's one that's 3, right? 0.58 unit, 0.76 unit, 0.38 unit. So we've got all these, just itty bitty fractions of a unit, but they all add up, right? So all of this is just from people on my team that are putting in whatever, like this one, 0.2 units. So that was probably a $10 one, right? So somebody just purchased $10, 10 units. So I got 0.2 of it, but they all add up, right? They all add up, and it shows you 1 year and all that. So really fun. really fun to be part of this. It's super exciting to see everything that's happening with Mintage, all these news, all the news that's coming out, and how they're making it better for us. The new coins that are getting mined, the new website. Mintage has its own blog now. All this information. It's just fun. So my invitation to you is go out, share this. Tell people the benefits of this amazing opportunity that we have to join. You get in for $125 into NUI, save the $500 that it normally costs to do Mintage. So they're saving $375. They're getting in. They can start with just that minimum $25 to get going, and just start sharing it with the world, and do what I just did. And you just think about how what that can turn into over time as you continue to repurchase each week, right? And use the power of compounding, and then of course using the power of leverage as your team continues to do it as well. And that's how you obtain financial freedom. That's the secret right there. That's how you do it. Team building, working with your team, supporting them, educating them, reminding them to get on the webinars, reminding them to join the calls, getting them to meetings, spending time on the phone with them, doing personal development, all those things, right? All those team building activities we do. It's not hard, really isn't. It's not hard, and it's not expensive either, right? It's just taking some time to educate yourself, to educate your team, work with them, help them, and get them going. And next thing you know, you're able to take advantage of all this and have a new kind of lifestyle. So with that, I'll let you get back to your Saturdays. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that was useful. It was for me to work through this and understand it better. Anyway, wish you the best success, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.